Hey Gladiators, welcome to the Scandal After Show here at theStream.tv. I'm your host Jocelyn Polite, and what happened, oh my God, what happened to Olivia Pope's white hat? Is our girl off her game? Oh, before we get to that, let me introduce you to my wonderful co-host. Over here to my left is the beautiful Janessa.
Hi everybody, so excited.
And to my right is the gorgeous Jillian.
Hey guys, Jillian Fleischman here, and I don't even know what to say about this episode. It was just crazy from beginning to end, I think.
And next to Jillian is the always stylish and handsome Jason.
Hello guys, I'm Jason, and I definitely do not want to get on the president's bad side after tonight's episode.
Ooh, say that again, right? Me either. All right, well, this is an interactive show, and we want you to interact with us. You can tweet us using the hashtag ScandalAS. Tell a friend and join us on the Stream's YouTube chat. So we want to hear your questions. We want to hear your comments. We want it all. So make sure that you tweet us. Make sure that you join us in the chat and send us your questions. Later on in the show, we are going to answer your questions, and we can answer your question right here on the show. All right, well, this is episode 5, so we're moving right along. It's called The Key, and we need to just jump right in with Olivia and her father. Is Olivia off her game? Is she not able to read Papa Pope?
She drank a whole bottle of wine by herself, and I think she's kind of a heavyweight because she didn't seem like that really that much. So could be the alcohol that's blinding her from her crazy dad.
It was the cheap wine, though, so...
She's delusional when it comes to her father. I think we're all watching saying, how could you not know? Your father's coming over trying to be nice. What would you just go for it? But I think at the root of it, she really wants a relationship with her dad, which is why she tends to kind of overlook things that are blatantly obvious to all of us at home.
Well, I agree with you. She was definitely like drinking, and I didn't think it was cheap wine. Unless it's in the box. I thought it was.
It's just not
snooty
wine.
It's in the bottle,
Not snooty,
right?
But Papa Pope, he came over with an expensive bottle of wine because he wanted to drink with her, and I thought that their father-daughter time was. I thought it was a good time. I haven't seen that between them, so that was something that was pretty cool between them. It kind of reminded me of when I talked to my dad and stuff like that. It was like a nice little moment between them, even though he's a murdering fool.
One of the rare relatable moments I can say that you're gonna have while you're watching Scandal. It was nice to see that sort of, them coming together. We know that that's what she wants, but I always look at Papa Pope, and he's such a bad guy that everything he says, I'm always saying it's like double meaning, because there's just, you never know with him.
You said that it was relatable. I felt like in this episode, all the characters were really relatable. I feel like they weren't as crazy up in the White House, and you could kind of relate to each of them in different ways, and I thought that was nice.
Yeah, they were being very mellow this episode. However,
very human.
It was, exactly, but it was really awkward to see Papa Pope be that human, and it was even more awkward seeing Olivia not being able to catch on to the fact that he's lying so much to her. Because isn't that supposed to be her superpower?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She's always able to read people. She's always able to see when someone's lying, if they're not telling the truth. She always says that she trusts her gut and her radar and everything. And I'm like, is everyone drinking too much wine? Because I'm like, you can't see through your dad. She seemed to be side-eyeing him in, I believe, the first episode. Yeah. She seemed like a little hesitant of him when he was when she was asking him about Harrison. But tonight, I just kind of felt like, are you just...
I guess we found her kryptonite.
Yeah, you know what?
Got some daddy issues.
She definitely does, and
Literally.
I really believe that relationship is so dysfunctional. But I believe that it's the kind of relationship where they both want it so bad, even though they know that it's not going to stay.
Well, and by the way, in a lot of their dialogue in that, it was her questioning herself, saying, "Oh, me and Jake, should I think that something's wrong? Should I not?" And he was kind of, just kind of validating her and how she was feeling. So she's very much emotional and into herself.
Definitely.
So,
yeah. And speaking of Jake, how cool was it to kind of see Olivia obsessing and like being that girl that made all the phone calls and he's not answering?
I have to admit, I think I'm falling for Jake.
No.
I think now that he has more drama, I'm into it. Sorry.
You left me alone.
This is the first, when I watch this show, I always think that Jake is Fitz's replacement. I always think that he's just, helping her pass the time until Fitz isn't in office anymore, and then she's gonna be with him. This is the first time I actually believed that she cared about him, that she actually had some sort of feelings for him. Even when they were on the beach for 2 months, I didn't even believe it. But this time, I did. So turning point.
The thing is, when her and Fitz are together, then they're together, and I love it, and I think everybody loves it, love to see how like passionate they are for each other. But when they're not together, it's hard to kind of imagine, and you don't really want them together when they're actually like not in the same room.
Right. I agree with
think she's still just using Jake as a filler. I mean, yeah, okay, now she's starting to maybe develop a little bit of feelings for him, but it's only because the president is unavailable. So I think Jake should just be electrified, just go away.
I'm totally fine with him being around a little bit longer.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Okay, well, what about it's Fitz and Jerry's, you know, this whole thing with Jerry. Okay, this is what I think. I think, and I'm going to throw this out here because I know that we're probably going to get some interesting comments about this, but do you think that Fitz is more concerned about Jerry, who killed Jerry, or is he more concerned about Jake and Olivia?
You know, it's a hard thing because when you think about it, it's like it's his kid. It's way more important than Olivia. But in this episode, I think he's way more concerned with Jake and Olivia's relationship than who actually killed him. Because I think that Fitz knows that Jake didn't do it. He's a really good guy. I think you kind of see it in his eyes. But he's just so jealous about Olivia and Jake's relationship that's what's driving everything right now.
Well, I love seeing those flashbacks of Jake thinking about Olivia because, and you know that Fitz in his mind, he was thinking about the two of them together, which has to just be a disturbing thought for him.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I feel like, and I'm not discounting that he doesn't love his son and is not concerned with how his son died. But tonight, to me, his motivation was, you and Olivia went to some island and romped around and stuff like that. I'm jealous, and I'm gonna, get you for it.
I also think that Jake is pretty confident in the fact that the president knows he didn't do it. And I thought that when Jake was, like kind of saying, oh, and me and Olivia did this and that, I feel like he was doing that so the president could get all his anger, because I don't think he minds being beat up in the long run instead of being blamed for killing his son. So I think he was trying to get the president to punch out the feelings about Olivia so they can just move on to the son problem.
I agree. He's trying to get Fitz to get all his anger out of the way. Okay, yes, I slept with your mistress. Fine, let's deal with that first. Beat me up for that, and then we can talk about who actually killed your son. So I agree with you.
Yeah.
But I mean, let's talk about the fact that he beat him up. That was just so unrealistic to me. The president just beating somebody up in an interrogation room. I mean, come on. I know,
Can you picture Obama doing that?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Can you picture our president just obviously we would never see anything like that, but I couldn't even imagine any president that we've had just beating somebody to death in some room. It was a stretch.
Except for Clinton. Hey-oh.
Well, I mean, thinking about that same thing, how unrealistic this is tying into our president, it was like with the State of the Union. It was the best speech that we ever saw that was never going to happen. But I think Jake, I love him because he says what everyone's thinking.
Yeah.
And the best part, I feel like he was punching him because he was saying those things about his relationship with Olivia. So he was punching because he was jealous and everything, but he was I don't know. Jake is the best.
I don't know. It just shocked me to have him, just beating him up like that. But okay, that's fine. But first before we move on, we're going to shout out some of our favorite blogs. Go follow them now. They have information, news and gossip, and great pictures, and can just give you all the information on our favorite show, Scandal. First is at Scandalicious05, at ABC Scandal 911, and at ABC Scandal Fans. I know as I've been going through Twitter, I've been looking at at things with them, and I mean, I get all my news from a lot of these blogs.
So
it's awesome.
much.
So
they've taught me a lot too. So
yeah,
thanks.
And they break it down so well too, all the information.
I know.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Well, I want to move on to the next topic because I want to talk about Huck, because I know as some of the fans out there, you get mad at us when we don't talk about Huck. So let's talk about Huck, because there was a lot to talk about tonight.
Yeah.
First, we started off thinking is Huck a stalker? Because he was just, I mean, we all know that Huck has stalkerish tendencies, but he is looking at trying to actually see his son, and outside of his wife's house. So basically, does Huck want his family back?
I think so. I think that Huck is the best character this season, personally. Last season, it was a cliffhanger that Quinn told him about his family, and we kind of didn't know anything that was going on until right now. I love seeing him get more vocal and be more, even with Olivia telling her how he feels and that she can't come back right away in previous episodes. I love seeing him be very straightforward and really say what he wants. And I liked him getting angry tonight that she had duped him into coming over. I think he wants his family back. It's just a question of if he can.
I feel like they haven't shown, I mean, Huck has had some things going on this season, but I feel like he's still kind of been the little silent sheep that he always is, and I really haven't seen him be that vocal. I mean, yeah, he did choke someone, stuff like that, but I'd like to see even more of him.
Well, I think the family is his Achilles heel. I mean, this is definitely Kim and his son. I mean, he hasn't seen them since that subway scene that we saw in season 2 where he got a peek at them. But I don't know. I don't know if this is going to work. I mean, obviously his wife has moved on, you know, and I don't think she wants too much to do with him. I think that she believes that he actually that he left and abandoned the family, and she doesn't believe this B613 in a whole, you know, type of story that he's telling.
Well,
so
I mean, who would? If someone showed up at your doorstep and was like, I'm a super secret spy agent who's killed millions of world leaders, and I want to see my son.
But it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating because Huck's gone through so much, and he's so nice, and he just doesn't have luck. Huck doesn't have luck.
Yeah, he doesn't.
I like that.
I'm going to predict that at some point, because Olivia always takes care of him, that she's going to be involved in somehow. He's dealing with a lot right now, don't get me wrong, but I think that she's going to come in and help him kind of at least have a relationship and verify his story.
Well, speaking of Olivia and Huck, what about when Huck lied to Olivia? We've never really seen that. Huck has always kind of been on Olivia's side. He's definitely been the person in OPA that takes care of business and does things. Well, tonight, we saw kind of in that opening scene that he didn't let Olivia know that he was like, oh yeah, you got the microphone, and he's sitting there with it, you know. So what's up with Huck? Is he going left a little bit with OPA?
Maybe he just thinks Olivia needs to fix her own problems before she helps fix his, because she's kind of like a little crazy right now, not gonna lie.
To me, that was him putting his family first. That's what I liked seeing him have a priority other than helping OPA and doing everything for that. It was nice to see him out on his own saying, I'm doing something myself, and you guys are dealing with that. You don't need me all the time.
Whoa.
So.
Definitely. It's nice to see that Huck has some other personal side story that's not related to Olivia at all, because Huck has always been like, Olivia, what do you want? Olivia, what am I going to do for you? Olivia, what's next? So it's nice that he has his own little side story. I personally feel it's a little boring, but hopefully it spices up eventually.
It's emotional.
Yeah,
it's emotional.
I'm with you.
Slow.
I'm with you, Jason. I definitely feel like it's a little boring because I feel like we've already kind of been through all this before. But what would be interesting is something that we kind of talked about, which is what would happen, which we saw Kim, his wife, reject him. But if she accepts him back, would that kind of, and I hate to say this, but would it kind of normalize Huck? I mean, would, you know, Huck be less, you know, B613-ish if that were to happen?
I'm just picturing Huck walking down the street so happy, like putting his
Walking
shades
the
off
dog.
with some music going by, like being so happy. Imagine if he was happy and charming, how cool that would be.
I'm trying to imagine him making breakfast right now for the kid, and it's not working. So
Yeah,
that would be so awkward.
That's definitely not him.
Right.
That's definitely not him. But
Right.
first, we want to give some shout outs and thank you for joining us on the chat tonight. And some of our, we want you to follow us on the stream and chat with us in the room, send us your questions. Like I said, later on we're going to ask some questions and we can answer your question tonight. So there's definitely time for you to get your question in. Fitz and Mellie, are they going to survive this term in the White House?
They'll make it through, but I doubt they'll stay together.
Right.
I doubt she'll stay sane. Did you, that whole rant about her son being a soldier and he died for them to be able to stay in the White House, what kind of mother talks about her dead son like that?
It was a little weird, but we saw her taking a shower at the end, which I thought was a very
that's a
good
positive.
sign. I liked seeing her. That was kind of her taking off the smelly Mellie and, you know, getting back to the Mellie that
Did you
everyone
see her
knew.
face
We
when
say
the
that
water
every
hit her?
episode.
She's so
Yeah, she still
happy.
hasn't gotten it together.
Yeah,
I mean,
we say
that's
every
the thing,
episode we're like, oh, that's gonna be the thing that's gonna bring Mellie
Right.
back, but it never really is.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think because she is so crazy, I feel like they will stay together because she always says she's gonna blackmail him and ruin his life if he tries to leave her.
She's off her rocker. She's gone. She's insane. She's lost it, in my opinion.
You know what? I'm tired of them.
Yes!
I'm tired of Fitz and Mellie. I actually really am. And I'm tired of, I mean, we had this thing with them last week where they had an argument and they went back and forth and went in on each other. And then here we go again this week. I mean, I think I just kind of checked out a little bit when they were talking because I'm like, I'm really tired of them. It's either going to be something, I'd rather them to come to a conclusion of like, we're not together. This is not going to work, but we're going to last throughout this term. And they come to that agreement, and that's it. Exactly. I'm tired of Mellie being jealous about Olivia. It's just old.
They're so not a couple.
No.
It's like if you are, like, if you think that someone killed your son, you don't tell your wife. and then she automatically assumes that you're with your mistress, it's not a good relationship.
But the thing is, they always say that when they're working on something political, that they're a really good team. And they're always a really good dynamic duo when they're working on something that's not like a relationship that's important.
Yeah.
They're good business partners,
Yeah.
but they're not good relationship-wise. I mean, I've always been Team Mellie from the beginning. Everybody knows this. But I feel like I can't support her anymore when she's making crazy statements.
And I really miss the old Mellie because she was my
Yeah.
favorite character, and I'm kind of not like remembering her anymore because she used to walk around in her blue suit and be all peppy. So I miss her. I want her back.
Well, I feel like she's off the rocker, and I haven't seen her come back yet. So that leads me to something that I'm thinking is, because I know there's going to be a murder. You know, I think something's going to happen this season. Is Mellie going to kill somebody? Because she just seems fed up. Do you guys think she's going to kill someone?
No.
I don't think she's
I
going
don't
to
think
kill
so.
someone.
Okay.
I just think that she needs to get back to who she was, which is what we're all saying. And then that shower scene at the end made me feel like she's kind of coming back to reality.
So you think, well, what kind of soap is that that's going to bring her back to what she was?
Well, she took a shower.
Well,
I mean,
that's
that's the step that that is good.
Could you imagine Mellie with a gun right now
Yes.
trying to kill somebody?
Yes.
I couldn't.
I could imagine it. I don't think she would actually kill someone. I think she'd be like that kind of crazy that's very steady with like a gun in your hand and like crazy eyes going on all over the place. But I don't think she's actually going to kill someone.
Okay, well, let's move to Olivia and Abby.
Everybody wants to be Olivia.
Olivia and Abby, are they back? I mean, you know, she bangs on her door like cop style. She just beat down the door, and I guess she was going to go in on her about the whole Rosen thing, about her,
Yeah.
you know, hurting Rosen and everything. Are they back? I mean, is Abby going to be back in OPA?
Yes.
Is she gonna? Would she really give up the White House?
I think she's gonna stay in the White House as kind of like, oh, your inside source, secret kind of like mole type operation. But she's definitely gonna get back to working with Olivia. I mean, they were best friends. They went to college together. They've been through so much together. Olivia helped her out with her abusive ex-husband. There's a bond there. She's not gonna just let Olivia, you know, fall apart right in front of her.
They're almost like sisters because they fight so much and they say rude things, and it's, you know, Olivia slams the door in Abby's face and then she calls her like, you have to help me. Like, just help me, and she says no. But then they kind of come back together. I think it's only a matter of time, especially with the loss of Harrison. I feel like they need someone else as part of OPA besides Huck and Quinn because they're kind of, you know, still with that sexual tension and whatever goes on with them. So they need another person there to kind of calm Olivia down, but just remains to be seen when it
I just
feel
think
like-
something needs to happen.
I feel like the only way for them to be really like close again is for Olivia to be back in the White House. Because Abby's too busy. She can't go back to.
Abby would have a fit.
I'm bored with. I mean, I have to say, I'm kind of bored with that too. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I really love about Scandal this season, but I mean, I have to bring up Abby and Rosen. I am so bored with Abby and Rosen. Like, I don't even get Rosen's story. I mean, I know he was attorney general. He went through all this backstabbing stuff. Now he's like drinking and stuff. I don't get them. Somebody help me.
Well, he just feels very guilty. I think what we learned tonight was he feels bad that he used the B613 papers to get what he wanted. That's what he's saying. We got a gun control, it got all these different things, but the guy is dead because of him. And oh, by the way, it was his daughter's birthday today. So that's why he was drinking, because he felt very bad. I think Rosen is good, perhaps the only good person on the show. So I think that he, you know, just feels kind of bad, and I've actually liked him tonight more than other nights. Normally I don't like him, but
I didn't like
I
that
was
he
okay.
blamed everything on Olivia, though. It's like we're all responsible for our own actions. Just because
Right, I
you
agree.
used the files doesn't
Right.
mean it's Olivia's fault that you used the files.
Right.
Just
Right.
because you want to be her doesn't mean you can be mad at her.
Exactly.
There was also a scandal tonight that we saw. Someone got shot, you know, tonight.
that.
No, we always get off into the characters and we completely forget. We get off into their scandals because we're so familiar with the characters. We totally forget that there's like major scandals happening. You know, they're just kind of like, oh yeah, that happened. But yeah, someone got shot tonight, and it had to do with that whole storyline of the MILF that we talked about before, the mom that we thought possibly killed her daughter's boyfriend.
Yeah.
Right? So, or was sleeping with her daughter's boyfriend. I'm sorry.
Right.
That was happening, but her daughter died. So tonight we saw someone get shot.
And Quinn saved the day by figuring out where the key was.
Yeah, and Quinn, okay, she's like working in the morgue's office. She might as well just get a job in the morgue's
my
office. She was like,
gosh.
knew exactly where to cut to get that
I
key.
had to
Go
look
Quinn.
away. It
I
was
know.
I'm a little squeamish when it comes to blood, so I was like, oh, that is too much. You're cutting open a dead girl's stomach.
I just
can't
want to
watch.
say, because I know my friend is Brielle, I want to shout her out. She is the girl who played the girl who swallowed the
played
key.
Faith.
Yeah, Faith. And yeah, good job, Brielle.
Okay, well, next we're going to get to some fan questions, but first we are going to take this short break and we'll be right back.
Just in case you missed it live.
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 In case you missed it live, I'm not fake, I'm so real, okay?
Hey, who's excited?
Woo! She's a little superhero slut because she's so. I just pissed everybody off.
She's like such a glamazon.
Join the writer team because you are hot.
And I loved it.
That is like tension beyond belief.
I found her to be deliciously out of control.
We were all just looked at each other, just like, ah!
So we can assume that you've written letters to inmates before.
Give me the diamonds. I need them for my wife.
Take charge and kill everyone.
This Holocaust coffin!
You were agreeing with me, so I think it was a great point.
You know, you can't count anything out.
Yes, yes.
Yes! Oh my God!
What's your shoe size? My size.
Well, that was pretty awful.
Oh my God!
Very cool.
Make sure you follow thestream.com for all of your favorite after shows and follow everyone on Twitter. Okay, so we're going to get to some questions, but first we want to do some YouTube shout outs to one of our favorite fans, Forever Johnny Boy, Christian Lopez, Daphne Blunt, happy birthday, Daphne.
Happy birthday,
And Ahmed Ali. We want to thank you for joining us each week and for participating in the show and for making the show a success. So thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
So we're going to go to our first live question. This one is from Christian Lopez, and he writes, do you think Olivia is the same strong woman she was in the first season?
No.
No.
Definitely not. I think it's unanimous, right?
Okay.
I've seen her cry more times in the past 5 episodes now, this season alone, than the entire first season.
The fact that the lip quiver is a thing,
Yeah.
it's pretty symbolic of the fact that she's not the same person. In the first season, she was so strong, and I think why I liked her a lot was because of all the different scandals, which I think we're getting back to that a little bit this season as opposed to seasons 2 and 3. But she has so much going on mentally, and there's so many more relationships that I don't really see her as the same person.
I don't see her as the same person as in season 1, but I have to say that I think we're building up to Olivia really, I think she's going to come back to being a really strong person. I think this whole thing with Fitz has kind of knocked her out, and Jake and all. There's a lot going on. Her father, her mother, that was a lot to deal with. But I think that Olivia is actually going to get back to being that strong person, and it's going to be because she's going to have to take her dad down.
Yep.
Oh.
I think it's just because her boyfriend's ignoring her in this episode. Because remember last episode, we were all like, go Olivia! Like she was like screaming at people. Was that the episode before?
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
know, but we
Yeah,
all
with the
really,
parents,
we
with
were
the
all,
parents,
like,
yeah.
We saw a little sliver of it coming back, so you might be right.
Yeah.
There could be a comeback.
Let's hope. Okay, well, our next question is from @MLGNABode. That's the best I could do with that one. What do you think about E! Online calling Olitz fans idiots?
They could have used a better word. Let's go with that.
Well, first of all, a lot of people are fans, you know, of Olivia and Fitz. I'm not. I'm a Jake and Olivia fan, but, or maybe, like you said, Olivia and someone else. But, yeah, I thought it was pretty strong. I mean, I understand their reasons, you know. I mean, Fitz is married. I mean, I get all those reasons and everything, but I just thought that it was a little strong to say that they're idiots. I mean, these are fans of the show. We get passionate and fall in love with these couples, so.
I'm a Jake person too, duh. But I think that people like Olivia and Fitz because of their sexual chemistry and their relationship. I don't think that it matters that he's president and he's married. That's not why people want them together. They want them together because they fit. But I don't think that it's a realistic scenario. But yeah, I think that's why
the
people
article
like
was just calling out some of these, because, okay, our society today is all about, you know, being the best person you can be and, you know, falling for someone that you deserve. And the article, I read it, and it was just talking about how could people be supporting Olivia falling for a man who's cheating on his wife, who drinks all the time, who just seems like an all-around jerk. Wouldn't we want her with someone better?
But the
Is my
thing
question-
is, it's a TV show, so I think they're just being
Right.
mean, and we watch TV to like get.
That's what I was just
We
gonna
watch
say.
TV to like be in another world. I mean, and in this world, I know so many people who just watch the show to see Fitz and Olivia together.
Yeah.
It is called
so many of my
Scandal.
friends.
Right, and you're right. It's a TV show. It's not supposed to be realistic. It's supposed to take you somewhere else, which I think that's happening.
Well, let's go.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I mean, like Marilyn Monroe and J.F. Kennedy, like, you know, that it's like I thought that was cool. So.
Interesting. I
Which
never thought of that.
Historical events
idiots,
we learned
idiots
here.
is a pretty strong word. I guess we can all agree, right?
Yeah.
That it was a scandalous article.
Okay, well, let's go to our last fan question. Trey76 writes, didn't Papa Pope already tell Olivia that he killed Fitz's son? In the season finale, he said that he did it for her because she wanted Fitz to win the re-election and he wasn't going to, so he killed the kid so he'd win. I don't remember
I
that.
think
that
if I'm
happened.
right, he told this to Harrison before he killed him.
Yeah.
Remember? Harrison
I
came
missed
in.
that.
Harrison came in. Tom was there in the
Wow.
background.
Okay.
And he told Harrison to kind of, because Harrison came to confront him after he killed Annan, I thought.
I remember that. Yeah.
So
it was
then,
definitely
so he
Harrison.
told him, and then of course Harrison is no longer there. So
Oh.
I think that's when the viewer learned his motive for doing it, which is interesting because he kind of made it like his motive was, like Jake's motive was his motive tonight.
Okay, I missed all of that. I must have gotten up and got popcorn and wine because I missed that one.
It was Harrison. pretty
Okay.
much,
Right, yes.
That
All
he
right.
told that to.
Well, we're going to go to a few more shout outs, and we're going to shout out some of our Twitter followers, and at Jayski317, at BreezyBree232, and Sil Powell. We want to thank you for following us and watching the show and retweeting and favoriting everything and get involved and get retweet. We love Twitter and we love to retweet and talk, so let's keep it going. We also want to give a big, humongous shout out to our director, Stephen Fox's parents, Sue and George, who were with us tonight, and actually, they are watching live, and we got to watch the show with them. So
Yes.
yay for that.
Yes.
They are
And they had great
yeah,
suggestions.
they are
too.
our fellow co-hosts
They
tonight.
were our co-hosts tonight, and they definitely helped us with a whole lot of topics.
They
and we
did.
were talking all during the show. So we want to, tell them to have a wonderful visit while they're here, and we enjoyed watching the show with you. Okay, so wow, this was a lot tonight, I would say.
Yep.
We have a lot to talk about all week.
Yep.
What do you think?
Exhale.
Yeah, it is exhale. I just feel like we definitely have more to go this season. I want to kick it up some more. I don't want to get unrealistic, but I definitely want to kick it up some more. I want to see kind of like some season 2 stuff happening in this season, because that was the season that I loved the most. And so I really want to see some of that stuff coming up, but we shall see, right?
A lot happened. I don't
Yeah,
know.
a lot did happen. So
I feel like something big is going to happen because they're dragging on this whole the girl that got killed and the stepmother's in jail. Something big is going to happen, so stay
I
tuned.
feel like something sexy needs to happen.
sexy.
Yeah.
Okay. We can go for that because this is a sexy show. But we want to thank you for joining us tonight for the Scandal After Show and for making theStream.tv your after show place where you get to see it all from all the shows here at theStream.tv. We will be back here every Thursday to recap Scandal and to discuss everything with you. And we are going to be available all week to talk to you on Twitter and various social networks. So we'll see you next week, gladiators, and you have a good night.
Bye.
All at the same time.